What's up, bro? How you?
I'm doing all right, man. Another day, another dollar.
That's it. That's it. First of all, I want to say thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. I know you're busy to have this conversation with me. It means a lot. I know you have a powerful story, and we're gonna just dive right into it. That's cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Seeds of Greatness. My name is William Castro, and tonight I have the pleasure of having Victor Martin with us, and I'm gonna let you take it from there. Victor, tell us your story.
Okay, my story is unique. It started back in '99 when my path of trouble started with chop shops. That was my mo.
That was your
That's what I
thing.
was doing a lot. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I was in Craven County in 1999. I was in a high speed chase, and so um, we got to a high speed chase with the sheriff's department, and
Mhm.
I was jumping out the car, and they rammed the car. And so
Damn.
they were like, "Don't worry about it." You know what I'm saying? We was told to ram the car, but then 2 months later, I tried to escape from the county jail, and so
Damn.
yeah, in retaliation, they was like, "Okay, well, since he want to do that, we're gonna charge him with the accident. Say he tried to hit the officer." And
Oh
so
man.
and they told me that they were gonna make an example out of me. So for those two charges, common law robbery
Mhm.
and assaulting a government official, they charged me as a habitual and gave me eight, well, a total of 17 to 23 years. And
Damn.
so when I was in the county jail, I was waiting to get sentenced.
Hmm.
They had moved me downstairs in a single man cell. And
Hmm.
so while I was down there, there was this female officer that I used to talk with and
Hmm.
flirt with all the time. So I was
Hmm.
telling her my stories and stuff. So one day she was leaving. She's like, "Well, you need to write a book." I remember
Yeah.
what I said. I said, "I ain't writing no damn book." So when she left, I was sitting there like I knew I was gonna get some time. I
Hmm.
was like, damn, I might need to do something. So I asked one of the jailers to give me some paper and a dictionary, and they gave it to
Hmm.
me. And I just started writing,
That's what's
and
up.
I I didn't know what I was doing. So basically, what I did, I just mixed fiction with reality. Like my first book was a hood legend about
Hmm.
Minaj, stealing cars, and
Yeah.
so I just put myself in the book.
And that's what's
And
up.
so I really didn't think, I really didn't believe in myself that much.
Hmm.
But when I let somebody read it, they're like, "Man, this book here good, man. You need to keep doing it." I'm like, "All right, I
Yeah.
think they just were just saying that just to keep me quiet." And
Yeah.
so when
Yeah.
I went to prison, I kept my manuscripts,
Hmm.
and I would let guys read them, and they would be like, "Man, this book here good." So at one point, I thought they were just saying it just to,
Just to say it.
yeah. So what I started doing was I would let somebody read it, like, "Yeah, man, this dude he shipped out, and he left it in my cell, and I'm just
Hmm.
trying to get it back to him." So I just give them the first four chapters, and every time I let somebody read, like, "Yo, man, let me get the rest, man. It's good." So they didn't know that I had wrote it.
That's what's up.
So I'm like, "Yeah, maybe I got some."
Hmm.
So then, like I said, I got a wild story. So then I tried to escape from prison after I found out that they had did something wrong on my paperwork. They didn't even file
Yeah.
for emotional relief, a motion for appropriate relief in my
Right.
case. So that kind of got me upset. So I'm like, man, I do all this time for basically nothing.
Yeah.
So that didn't work, and so they put me in a single man cell. I had to do 3.5 years straight
Hmm.
in solitary. And so while I
Hmm.
was in there, all I was doing every day was writing. Every day, writing, writing, writing. And
Yeah.
so I had got in touch with Vicky Stringer, and
Hmm.
my first book was published was 2003. It was a hood legend, and I just kept writing ever since. I never stopped.
That's what's
And
up.
like in prison, like a lot of people, they mostly see what's on TV, so they think but it's rough in there, but
Yeah.
it's how you carry yourself. Like like now,
Hmm.
the main thing is, well, North Carolina prison system is gangs is everywhere,
Yeah.
but I did my whole bid on my own 2 feet, and it
Right.
was. I'm not Superman nothing like that. It was just this respect that I earned over the time,
Right.
and so like it got to a point where everybody knew me as Vic. He write books. I might go outside And I'm
Hmm.
like, yo, man, I got next on the basketball court. Nah, man, go back in there and finish that book. They wouldn't even let me play ball. Like, nah, go back in there and finish right. I'm like, man, I'm gonna come outside and get some rec.
Yeah.
But I never had no problems with it. I help guys out that want to write, but
Yeah.
I had an issue, and I was in Central Prison. I think it's
Yeah.
like 2008, and the captain of internal affairs, he decided that he wanted to try to stop me from writing, and so
Man,
that's when I
why?
he claimed that I was violating the policy of inmate conducting business. So
Mm.
I was in my
Oh, because you
cell
were
one day.
publishing from behind the wall.
Yeah. So he had seen one of my royalty checks come in, so he didn't like that.
Right.
So um, I ended up having doing a year on segregation, but
Mm.
I went to federal court and won.
That's
And
what's up.
to this day, to this day, that law still stands that inmates can write. But writing, it changed me, like, because like it was like my mental escape. It's something
Hmm.
I did it every day. Somebody every day.
Yeah.
I'm in my cell, paper. I'm writing 800-page manuscripts worth of word using the ink pen.
That's what's
And
up.
but yeah, I love writing. I love it.
How many books have you written to date?
I have 12 published
Mhm.
and seven more in my bedroom that I need to get typed up and published. I wrote those when I had like 4 years left. Well,
Mhm.
Hader Clark, she was like, "Look, you go ahead and start writing before you get out, because when you get out, you're not gonna have the time for it." And she
Yeah.
told the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. That's a
yeah,
fact. One of the things that, because I work in reentry right now, so one of the things that I tell guys when they first get out is that they need to balance, and it's all a balance because like when you first get out, you super grateful and super anxious at the same
yeah,
time. So I tell them they got to
hmm
balance matching the pace of the world while also taking their time and being gentle because they gonna have to make it's a huge adjustment. Being locked up for so long, because I did 12 and a half years myself, and while
hmm
you locked up, they cook your meals for you, they do your laundry for you. You basically don't have that many responsibilities. You ain't got no traffic to deal with,
yeah,
you ain't got no distractions. So going
hmm
from that to the free world, you got to do it all for yourself. You got to stand on your own 2 feet. You got to show up. You got to go get it. So there's a little bit
yeah.
of a mental adjustment, but you have to have the initiative, but also know when to like slow down a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your transition coming home. How did you feel? How did you go about getting on your own 2 feet? Like, tell me what that was like.
I think I don't really want to use the word easy, so I say I was
Mhm.
blessed. But my last 2 years in prison, I was
Mhm.
on work release,
That's
so
what's up.
that I was able to get used to being out there in the real
In the
world. I
free
had a
world.
job working at Dunkin' Donuts. So my
Yeah.
last 2 years, a typical day, I wake up at 4:30. My manager come pick me up, and she
Hmm.
bring me back like 10 o'clock at night. So it wasn't like I was just
10 o'clock
put
at
back
night.
out here in society. Yeah, I,
Okay,
I had to
that's a
be back
long
before
day.
11. So
Yeah.
yeah, so the warden at that camp, he wanted guys to go out with money and to get used to being free.
That's
So
what's up.
my as for me, like my plan, most
Hmm.
guys like, yeah, I'm about to get out. Get this girl come pick me up. And, I'm gonna get something to drink, whatever.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
plan was my mom would come pick me up.
yeah.
Going to the DMV. I got my driver's license within 2 hours after I got out of prison, and
Damn, that's what's up. So you was
yeah,
already planning it.
yeah, I had it planned for like 3 months. I said I'm gonna get my license first day because I knew I was going to Charlotte. Because my mom was like, they got public transit. I said, Mom, I'm not catching no bus. I said, I'm getting my license. I said, I'm not catching no bus. So
Yeah.
I came to Charlotte June 1st, 2023,
Damn,
and
fresh out. Welcome home.
they're fresh out. And that first day I went to go see my PO, and
Hmm.
so he was like, I had a cool PO. He was like, be in at 6 at night,
Hmm.
and you can leave at 6 in the morning. He said, but if you working, you good. You know what I'm saying? I give you
Yeah.
like a 2 hour grace period. So he wasn't on no, you got to be in this time. So
Yeah.
the I was out for like a month, and then I went to go see him, and then he was like, "Well, bad news. Raleigh want to put you on a bracelet because they looked in the past and saw that you never completed probation, which I never did."
Mm,
So that was like the worst moment ever when they put that bracelet on. He said I was supposed to have it on for 6 months, but because
hmm.
I was doing what I was supposed to do, only wore it for 6 weeks.
That's what's
And
up.
so at first I couldn't leave Mecklenburg County.
Hmm.
I was doing that for about 3 months. Then I was able to go anywhere in the state. And like one time I had to go do a book event in Atlanta.
Hmm.
I was went to see my PO. They signed off like, yeah, go ahead, like we because I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't like that they me like I said, it wasn't I didn't have any problems. Like with PO, he's like
Yeah.
my thing was he said be in at 7. So I was in the house at 6 o'clock because I'm just going to prison. You
You
know
ain't
what I'm
taking
saying?
no chances.
None. And the only thing like when I meet women, they be like they don't believe I'm 49. You know, 'cause prison do preserve you. That's true.
Facts.
But like it's like when they find out I don't know how to cook, and I tell them like, look, you know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
last 24 years somebody was cooking for me. You know.
Facts.
And I'm not gonna do the cooking. I know how to do, cook the
Yeah,
soups
you ain't
and the
cooking no
rolls.
swoles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that, but I do have some soups in here though.
yeah,
But
yeah. Bro, I got some downstairs too. I got some
yeah,
soup right
hey,
now.
keep the hunger off of you.
Yeah.
But as far as adjusting, like the myth of coming home, somebody giving you a bag, $10,000, nobody gave
Mhm.
me anything. I didn't expect anything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I came home like my books weren't doing what they're supposed to do because I wasn't out here to promote them. So
Right.
I came home. I have no shame. I came home with
Hmm.
$7,500 to my name from work release
Mm.
money. So I used 3,000 of it to
Hmm.
buy me a car,
Yeah.
and then I had to get insurance and all that. So
Facts.
my first 4 months, I was staying with my manager,
Yeah.
and then I moved into like a roommate situation.
Hmm.
I was doing that for like a couple of months, but I wasn't content with it. So
Yeah.
I got my own apartment where I'm at now. I got this back in August of last year. I was
Yeah.
blessed to get this because it's like having my own place, man. It's like I can't even explain it.
That shit feel good, don't it?
I can't even explain it. It's super good. Like I come home, everything just like I left it.
Hmm.
You know, I put my trash out the door. They outside there pick it up,
Hmm.
and just it's just freedom. And like when I do meet women, I tell them like I don't hide that I wasn't in prison. I tell them, look, I just got out of prison
Yeah,
because
yeah,
my
yeah.
thing is it's not who I am today. If a
Facts.
woman can't deal with it, hey, that's her. That's
Yeah,
on
get
her.
it out the way, bro. I'm the same
Yeah.
way. When I first got out, because I got
Hmm.
out May 20th, 2022, and I
Hmm.
went to get a job, I told them in the first 5 minutes. When I was dating, I tell them in the first 5 minutes, if you're gonna judge me, let's get it out the way.
Yeah.
If it's a problem, let's get it out the way. You ain't about to accuse me of lying or hiding shit. Like we
Yeah.
gonna just get it out the way. So I respect that. I respect that. But I want to back up to highlight some things that you said. Um, you were talking about the transition being smooth. And I
Hmm.
believe that the transition was smooth for you because you were preparing for it. You said that you were thinking 3 months ahead of time, I got to get my license. I want to get my license the first day out.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if you don't have a plan, you're gonna plan to fail. Like as far
Facts.
as what my mindset was, I was like, I'm not gonna jump in the dating scene until I
You on
get
your
my own
feet?
place. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because I didn't want to be like when we in prison, we are dependent on the staff to take care of everything.
Right.
So I said, when I get out, I don't want to be dependent on nobody. I want to get my
Hmm.
own place, own transportation. So I didn't want to. I didn't even want to date while I was on probation. Like, how am I gonna go
Right.
out meet somebody? Like, she's like, well, let's go to the movies. Well, I can't go because I gotta be in at 7 o'clock.
Right,
But nothing
right,
she's
right.
doing. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do this year probation.
Hmm.
Just do what I got to do.
Yeah.
Them women, they're not going nowhere. So
Right.
I was just you got to be focused,
Yeah.
and like I said, you got to have a plan. And it's like you got. I had to change my way of thinking,
Hmm.
So while I'm in there, I seen guys get out and come right back.
Come right back
I see
over and
some
over
guys,
again.
yeah, they be like, yeah, man, when you out on probation, when the PO leave at 10, you can just go out. Well, I'm like, man, why the hell I'm gonna listen to you? You back in here. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
I'm like, and I always overthink things. I'm like, okay, yeah, he might can't come back at 10, but if he know you going outside, he's just gonna wait around the corner. As soon as you go out there, he gonna lock you back up. Now you back in here
Right.
looking stupid.
Right.
So yeah, I did my probation with no issues.
Yeah.
Um, like I did face like okay, I tried to get a job with doing door dashing. I
Hmm.
couldn't do that because a felony came up. Cause like my
Hmm.
last um cell phone charge came up. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
everything is not smooth. Like my
Yeah.
first job was I was cutting grass out here in this hot ass sun, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
there, and dudes like, man, why you ain't got no problem working? I'm like, man, this same job that I'm doing now, making
Was it?
$18 an
Yeah.
hour. When I was
Was a
in
dollar a
prison,
day.
I was doing it for $1 a day. They was like, what? $1 a day, and
They
that's the
don't
most.
know.
Yeah, that's the most. You know what I'm saying? So my way of thinking was changed due to due to prison. And it's
Right.
like I went to prison when I was 24
Hmm.
and I came out when I was 47.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 47, somewhere around there. So I hate to say it, I grew up in prison. And, I
Hmm.
made a post the other day on Facebook where I just thought about the guy I used to be. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like my hustle was playing cards. Like
Hmm.
you know how it is. You know who run the card tables,
Hmm.
Bloods, Crips, or whatever.
Hmm.
I play so good. Like I go to any camp. You know what I'm saying? They know, hey, put Vic behind the box. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he
Yeah.
home?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nah, but he know how to play. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was like I ain't never had a lock my lock or nothing like that. It's
Hmm.
just out of respect. But
Facts.
as far as like the day to day life in prison, like it was like one point in time where this when I was in close custody where I actually didn't think I was gonna make it out because it was just I'm just seeing so much like guys commit suicide and I was
Yeah.
at High County when it was at its worst. I seen guys. I seen one guy. He got stabbed and in his bed while he was asleep, and it was the
Mm.
wrong. They stabbed the wrong guy. It was
Mm.
supposed to be yeah. So just stuff like that. I'm like, man, it's like every day you got to be on point.
Yeah.
Every day, like people don't understand. Like on close custody, you can tell somebody been down a minute. You just go by the door, and if you
Hmm.
look inside and you see. Well, when I went to sleep, I had my chair right there by
Hmm.
the door with all
Hmm.
my books and stuff in there. So if somebody
If the
do come
door
in,
busts open, you could hear it. Wake up and get ready.
yeah, cause they got to go through
Yep.
my chair first. So
Yep.
just simple stuff like that. And it came to a point where it was just normal. But I
Hmm.
knew as my time got shorter that I had to break out of it. Like my last camp I was at, I was in green clothes.
Hmm.
And like some things I can't tolerate, and that's
Yeah.
like smoking. Like that's one thing I don't play. Like somebody smoking around me. So I get to this dorm and they smoking everywhere. Day room, the bathroom,
Hmm.
where you watch TV at. So I'm like, so at first I like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go outside. But then when I come in, when the yard closed, they still doing it. So it got to the point where I like, man, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna get secondhand cancer for nobody. So
Hmm.
I waited till after camp. And I went to everybody said, look, man, we gotta make some changes in here, man. So everybody like, no, man, that's just the way it is. I said, nah, it's just the way it is because ain't nobody saying nothing. I said, if
Right.
somebody offended you and you don't say nothing about it, they gonna keep doing it.
Right.
So I said it with respect in front of the whole
Hmm.
block. I said, look, man, from here on out, like we gotta make a spot where there's no smoking at. So this side over here, in the day room, no smoking. So I was like, all right, yeah,
Right.
we'll do that. And it stuck. So like, yo, man, how you get to do that? I said, you just gotta ask.
Right.
I ain't had to go, I ain't had to base on nobody, nothing like that. But
Yeah.
it's just out of respect, and some of the lessons that I had to live with in prison is the
Hmm.
same as out here. Like now I can, you know, it's just it's different,
Hmm.
but at the same time, life is what you make it. You
That's a
know,
fact.
like people go to prison and you can either it's one or two ways you can do the time
Hmm.
or you can let the time do you. So I
Hmm.
did my time. I didn't let it do me. Like
Right.
I didn't conform to what everybody else was doing.
Right.
So you know what a B6 is. That's what most of the majority of guys do. Me,
Yeah,
what
ain't
I
no
got in trouble,
way.
yeah,
Ain't no
yeah,
way.
what I got in trouble with, my mom knew it. Like nearly every camp I went to, I got in
Hmm.
trouble for messing with a female guard,
Hmm.
and that was something that I wasn't gonna change because I know
Right.
So my mom, she was like, "Well, I'm cool with that."
Yeah, 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 yeah. She could live with
So
that.
yeah, she can live with that. So like when I get to a camp and an officer call my mom, she already know my son got another officer there. So she's like, okay,
Yeah.
just make sure he all right.
Yeah.
And that's how I did my time.
Hmm.
And but like
So
I
I
can
want to
say,
ask you, I want
yeah.
to ask you about the point where the transition happened because like when you got locked up, you were still wide open, you were still wild. And I know
Hmm.
you started writing in the county, but I could tell at some point you started thinking like, okay, if I want to succeed when I get out, then there's a few different things that I gotta change. There's some thinking that I gotta change. There's some behaviors that I gotta change. Do you remember when that transition started happening and you was like, okay, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna focus on this. My goal is work release. My goal is to make my minimum. If that was your goal, like, can you talk about that?
Yeah, it happened while I was locked up for the escape charge. So like I said, I did 3.5 years behind the door. And
Damn, that's a
before,
long time.
yeah, and before I went in, like I knew I had a change. Cause before, like when I go out and play ball,
Hmm.
they used to get mad because I wouldn't pass the ball. I'm shooting every time. So
Yeah,
when I got out of SEG and I went to play ball, I was too passive. I was always like, man, shoot the ball. Why you always passing the ball? And into myself, I said, hey man, I lost something while I
yeah,
was in there.
yeah,
And I knew I did, like I said, 'cause I did so much time behind there. But I was like,
yeah. That's a long time.
and so while I was in there before, I remember I was at CP and they was like, okay, I went to the work board, and my
Hmm.
man, I was wild. And I said, I'm not going to no kitchen. So they're like, all right,
Hmm.
we're gonna put you in the kitchen. I said, I ain't going. All right, lock them up 10 days. Come out, do my 10 days. Go for the second time. Like we're gonna put you in the kitchen. I said, man, I'm not going to no damn kitchen. They locked me up again. So I did 10
Again,
more days.
crazy.
So I come back the third time. They're like, all right, Martin, this is your third time here. We're gonna put you in the kitchen. I said, man, I'm not going to no kitchen. He said, well, you know you're going long term. I like, what's that? He said, that's 6 months. I like, shit, what shift I'm going on? I ain't trying to do no 6 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I did that, and
Yeah.
I learned that like don't cuss out an officer because you know what I'm saying they can lie on you easily.
Yeah.
All they gotta do is just burn me one time.
Yeah.
And so, but when I got out of SEG, I came out with one, two, three books under my name. So I went in as just a guy that tried to escape. I came out
Hmm.
of SEG author.
That's what's
So
up.
so I seen segregation break a lot of men. I'm talking about dudes commit suicide,
Yeah.
swallowing razors, cutting their stomach open. I'm talking
Yeah.
about I seen it, and I'm like, the whole time I'm just like, I ain't
Yeah.
doing none of that. I'm just
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. That's
So
tough.
so when I came out, like before I couldn't go. There's no lie, I couldn't go. I couldn't go a month without a write up. But when I came out of segregation,
Hmm.
I didn't even know what a write up was. I'm going like 4 or 5 years without infraction.
That's
And
what's up.
yeah, so writing changed me, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
and just made me humble. I
Hmm.
just saw things different,
Yeah.
and I was doing my time different. And
Yeah.
so, I remember when I first started prison, I was slim, young buck. Then when I get to the end, I'm big guy and
Hmm. Hmm.
OG,
Yep.
so those terms are, you got to earn those. You know,
Facts.
just because you older, they're not gonna call you that.
Facts.
So, but out here
Hmm.
in like you gonna have your haters no matter what, and
Hmm.
so where I work at, I deal with I see everything. They don't think I see it, but I do. One dude, he was like, he made a little comment like, "What Vic Washington's car again?" Like acting like he ain't never had nothing. And at that point, I was about to say
Why he
something.
worried about you?
Yeah, and at that point, I was gonna say something. I said, "But you know what? He right. I ain't never had no car. I ain't never had no driver's license. He right." And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So, and I know it's some animosity,
Yeah.
out of everybody that worked there. I
Hmm.
got the best looking car, but I'm so humble. I'm like, well, I got the best looking car because they got kids. I don't have kids, so I can spend money
Right.
on the car. That's
Right.
how I look at it.
I
But
mean, that's cool of you to look at it that way.
yeah,
They
but they
hating on
start
you and
saying,
you explaining it away.
yeah, they're like, anything all that because he got a big body form. Like, man,
Mhm.
I'm enjoying life. It's like,
Yeah.
why you ain't get no Honda? Because I didn't want to get a Honda Core. I got what I want.
Yeah.
So,
Damn right.
but
So let
as
me ask
far,
you this
yeah,
for the guys that's still behind the wall, because there's a few homies behind the wall that be checking out the content. Like talk to them. Let them know because you did a lot of time, bro. I just want to pause and acknowledge that.
hmm
You did a lot of time and you came home, you got right to it. You ain't been home a long time and you already got your apartment, you already got your car, you got a good job, you still writing books. Like I want to go ahead and give you your flowers right now. Like you doing it, bro. And
yeah.
keep going. Don't slow down, don't stop for nobody. Man, don't even acknowledge the haters. It's cool that you be trying to explain away why you could do the things that they hating on. Man, act like they don't even exist. You know what
Oh
I'm
no,
saying?
no, I didn't explain nothing to him. That's
Okay.
what I just said to myself. Cause I
Okay,
said I was
okay.
gonna get out the car. I was like, man, ain't worry about it. I said they're gonna hate
Right, right.
anyway.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so but as far as the guys that still out there, man, I'll say this, man. The the small things, rule number one. I know some of them gonna laugh about this, and
Hmm.
do not, I repeat, do not come out to no female.
Facts.
Don't do it.
Tell them why. Tell them why.
Listen. All right, okay. I know they hear the saying like, "Oh, you gonna get." Uh, it's not being a dog. It's just you don't. You're gonna need your freedom. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And the time I spent is always somebody telling you what to wear, when to go
Hmm.
outside, what time to eat, when to take a shower, when to wake up. And if
Yeah.
you're in a relationship, you're gonna have that same thing, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be a point where you can be like, man, damn. So you're gonna have to have your freedom. And
Yeah.
like right now, peace and quiet.
Yeah. And
So
I want to add something to that because I know before I got out, I realized something. You know what I mean? Because while I was in prison, there was a couple of female CEOs that I messed around with, right?
mhm.
And I realized when I was getting ready to get out that it'd been so long since I had affection from a woman that I was interested in that the
Mhm.
smallest amount of affection or attention was going to feel like this, right?
Yeah.
So, realistically speaking, if we are not seeing it for what it is, then we ain't seeing reality. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, in the beginning, we just going off of what it feels like. It feels good to have somebody that wants us. It feels good to be
Yeah.
next to somebody that we think we care about. But
Mhm.
as that feeling wears away and we start seeing the real person, then we start losing interest or we get into this toxic situation because, like you said, the main thing, in my opinion, that women want are self-confidence and independence. If you are self-confident, like don't nothing really shake you, then they gonna at least be wondering, like, damn, like why he so confident? And then if you independent, then they gonna naturally gravitate towards you because you ain't relying on them to pay your bills. You ain't relying on them to take care of you. You ain't
Yeah.
relying on nobody. So my first thing when I got out, just like you, I wanted to get on my feet as soon as possible because I didn't want to be at the mercy of nobody, just like you.
Mhm.
So you absolutely right. And what usually happens is people that I serve, people that I work for, that I work with, whenever they getting out of prison, they fall in love or they think they fall in love because it
Yeah.
feels good. Then
Mhm.
next thing you know, they in this toxic battle, right?
Yeah.
So when shit at home going good, they could show up good at work. When shit at home is trash, then they can't show up at all. Sometimes they be calling out of work or their old lady might tell them that they want them to be up under them 24/7. Don't no woman want no man up under them 24/7. I don't care what they
Yeah.
say. They gotta have a chance to miss you. You gotta have a chance to miss them. So I
Hmm.
think you 100% right. Everybody that's coming home from prison, do not jump right into a relationship. Do not jump into any kind of situationship. Get your shit together first.
Yeah,
But
because
go ahead.
like
I'm sorry.
you don't want to. It's like the majority of relationships that fail is because one person is dependent and the other person is independent.
Right.
So you don't want to be like right now. I don't have to ask somebody to take me nowhere. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to ask nobody, can I stay with them?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nobody helped me with my bills.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything, no government assistance. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So it can be done. Like I said, I didn't come out here. Nobody gave me no pack. I didn't go
Mm-hmm.
rob nobody. None of
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I say, I went and did an honest job cutting grass out there in that hot ass sun. I was doing that, making. I did it for like 9 months, and then
Mm-hmm.
I was blessed to get another job where I'm doing now. Now I'm making 21.50 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible. You just got to have the ambition to do it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like man, a lot of guys I'm talking to them now. They in there working right now, going out there late at night, mopping the floor, and they making 75 cents a night.
Right.
And
Right.
they doing it every night. So you can come out here and get a job. But most people they want to just do the fast life. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't want them to look at me and say, "Oh, damn, he got the Audi." The first car I had was a Volkswagen CC. It didn't have no AC. I kept
Mm-hmm.
that for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
Then my credit was good. That's another thing. Being in prison, you just don't have credit history, but your credit is
Right.
going to be good. So just get one credit card. Don't Because I messed up. Just get one credit card
Mm-hmm.
and get credit history. And once you get up to like 700, 800, then you
Mm-hmm.
can do what you want. You don't have to have somebody do anything.
That's what's up.
So and especially you don't want to be staying with no female because the first thing they do to get out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, 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 yeah. They get mad at you. It's a wrap. Then what you gonna
Man,
do?
man. Yeah, man. Especially I ain't never had to go through that, but I knew guys that had to deal with that, and then I'm gonna call the police. Oh hell, you only got one time to do that. Matter of fact, you ain't got one time to do that. It's over. But yeah,
I mean, it's not funny, but you're right. You can't put yourself in a position like that. Like you
yeah,
definitely got to think things through, think ahead. You absolutely right. Get on your own
yeah.
two
Because
feet first before you try
if
to
if
settle
a
down.
if a woman knows that you are dependent on her, then she's gonna use that. She like, oh, shit, I know he ain't gonna do that much because he ain't got no
Yeah.
car. So I'm gonna go out
Hmm.
with my girls night. What he gonna do? He can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to get in no situation like that.
Right, right,
And
right.
and some women, believe it or not, are I ain't gonna say intimidated by it because they don't want no man that's too. Because they're like, oh, he got options.
Hmm.
So but like I said, I dealt with some women that they couldn't deal with it. But like I said, it didn't
Yep.
phase me because
It is
that
what it is.
one I probably meet four more the next day. So I'm in here in Charlotte. So
Yeah.
but it's freedom is priceless. Like I live every day to the fullest
Hmm.
legally, but
I like that
I don't.
legally.
Yeah,
I
I
like
don't.
it.
I don't go to. I don't come home and I don't like. I don't like living in regret. Like I
Yep.
don't come home like, damn, I wish I would have said something to her. If I see something, I'm gonna say something or whatever.
Hmm.
But like I said, because I know that my time that I wasted in prison, I can't get that back.
Right.
So like I got a book event at the end of this month,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be my first time, sitting down talking to people that read my book, and I'm gonna sit
That's
there
what's
like
up.
telling my testimony and stuff. And I'm
Yep.
just gonna
When
tell
is
my.
that and where is it?
It's gonna be 5:30. The 30th for this month is gonna be in Charlotte, and like I said, I don't got like 20. I got like 20 something tickets left. Just go to my Facebook page, and the
Yeah.
information's up there. They just send. So
What's your
I
Facebook
could.
page?
It's Victor L. Martin dash author. That's my
Okay.
Facebook page. And
Okay.
instead of just selling my book for $25. You know, I'm gonna buy this space. So for $30, you come chill with me for 2 hours and just an intimate setting and just get to know me, on a personal level and get the book autographed. So I
That's
want to
what's
do
up.
something different. And
That's what's up.
yeah, so
Okay. When is the next book coming out? I know you're doing that book, that event, but tell the people when the next book is coming out and tell them where they can find all your books.
all right. This is the next one that's coming out. It's called Motive for Murder. It's my suspense novel.
Okay.
And right now it's available on. You can go to Amazon and get it. Just type in "motive for murder." It's like a tongue twister. So
No, it's good. I like it. I like it.
"Motive for Murder" by Victor L. Martin. But as far as the ebook and the audio book, you have to go to VLMartinProductions.com. That's my website. You can get the ebook or the audio book. But the paperback is available on Amazon.
Hmm.
And I'll be having some shortly. And I'm going to start doing some book signings all
Okay.
over North Carolina.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. So is that what's next? Because my last question is usually what's next, but I feel like you just gave us what's next.
Yeah, that's the next one. But the one I got uh in the oven right now is called True to a Fault Part 1 and 2. I'm just doing my last edits on it. The
Okay.
book is already written, and I think that's going to be the best book that I ever wrote because I put into that book, and it's I can't even explain it, but
Yeah.
that's going to change the game. It's called
When's it
True
coming
to a
out?
Fault. I'm gonna try to put it out this year. I'm gonna try to put it out this. No, I
Okay.
am going to put it out this year. I
There
got to
you
tweak
go.
that
There
to
you
this.
go.
I'm
Y'all
gonna put it
stay
out this year.
tuned. Go tap in with him, follow him on all social media. You got an Instagram? Tell him your
Yeah,
Instagram.
my Instagram is Victor L Martin underscore. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
And
Okay.
let me see what else I got. Well, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll be able to find everything else
Okay.
on. Or you can just do the old school way. Just Google me,
Okay.
Google author Victor L Martin, and everything will come up.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Well, man, I appreciate you taking this time to have this conversation with me.
yeah,
I
I did too.
appreciate you giving the people some hope. And everybody go check out his stuff. We're gonna drop all of the links in the description of this show. So go check out the description, comment how you like the show, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you, bro.
All right. Oh, happy Mother's Day to everybody, and I love you, Mom. And don't forget,
That's what's up.
motive for murder.
Motive for Murder, Victor L. Martin. Y'all go get a copy or two. All right.
All right. Thank you.